Copperhead Kustoms. Today we are not on the 48 Bedford. Today we're continuing our new build, the 1952 Austin shop truck. So let's see what we do today. So yes, welcome back. And as I said, today we're not going to do the Bedford. We will probably do that one next week. Today we are going to continue with our new shop truck build, the 1952 Austin that we're putting on a Holden 1-ton chassis. Last week, you seen, I totally stuffed up and did all this wonderful patina and it all wiped off. So, this week, we have to try to replicate somewhat of what we did. I'm in a few different minds of what and how and we should do, whether we should paint it, whether we should patina it, whether we should not even bother. So stick around to see what and if anything I can pull off. Then once we've tried to salvage like last week was on about, we will then maybe start doing a little bit of metal work here and there and do a little bit of fancy stuff on this cab, which may give you guys a bit of an idea of where I've now changed the direction and where I'm going to head with it, and see if you like it. Anyway, enough talk and let's get into some action. So yes, if you're new and you missed last week's episode, last week we did start our 52 Austin shop truck. What we did was we gave it a bit of a clean. We knocked the roof out. Its first little knockout. It needs a lot more dollying, but we actually got the roof up. And then we cleaned all the inside. Seen it was a lot more rusty than we thought, which was and then we decided, once we'd pressure cleaned it and scotched it, all the body, a lot of that greeny stuff that was on there was just like scudgy dirt. A fair bit of it came off, and I decided that it was way too brown, too much rust, and wanted to add some more green to it. It was sort of always in my plan was to add a bit more green to it. So I did that using some pretty crazy out there different techniques for the patina, and I was pretty happy with the result. I actually thought it was looking pretty good. Didn't look fake at all, and went, yeah, hey, covered the whole thing, drenched it in inox, which I normally don't drench it that much in inox, which I've done many times to different cars and different paints. Thinking about it, I actually have done all of that to exactly what I've done there. But anyway, drenched it in inox, jumped in onto the floor, cut all the rusty floor in the seats and got rid of all the rust on the inside so we could start with making a new floor. As I crawled out of the car, I touched the paint and it all just smeared off. And to say I wasn't half devastated is an understatement. So we ended up, got a terry toweling rag and wiped all the paint off of the car. 5 hours worth of basically artwork gone down the gurgler. And that's basically where we ended last week's video, on a bit of a epic fail. So this week, we've now brought the Bedford over to this side of the shop. And this week, we will attempt somehow to rectify it. Now, it actually has my brain a little bit muddled up, I suppose you'd say, of, is it an omen? Should I not be touching it? Should I leave it alone? What should I do? Should I paint the car? Should I bodywork it and paint it? And should I make, what should I do? So I get quite confused. I'm quite confused with what to do at the moment. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to not use pressure packs. We're going to mix up some base coat and we're going to try to spray it out of the gun. I've never done patina this way. We're going to spray it out of the gun and see if I can see what I can come up with. I don't know. I may have. Who knows? Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so we just pressure cleaned it, scotch brighted it, and then re-pressure cleaned again. I think it's removed a lot of it, so fingers crossed it should work. So I'm going to go mix some paint up, and I think we'll start with a little bit of black. We won't need a lot. First we'll give it a quick wipe down with a rag so that it dries a bit quicker. Then I'll go mix some paint up, and then we'll start seeing if we can make this look a bit better. I can't say I've ever done the patina work the way we're about to try it. Okay, so I'm a little bit apprehensive, a little bit scared, I suppose, because we normally just use pressure packs and wipe it and smear it and stuff really quick. So we're using it through the proper paint. We'll see what happens. And I don't know if any of you caught it, but I had a dirty great big huntsman spider running up the back of my leg over the other side. If you see me jumping around like a jackrabbit, that was why. Because I felt something crawling up my leg, and it was a stinking great big spider. Don't know, guys. This is where we're at the moment. All right, so we've got three different greens, a bit of a blacky grey colour, and then a bit of a browny blacky at the end. So we haven't finished yet though. Then we did different techniques. We had it like sort of splattering. I had the issues with my little gun. Something's wrong with it. I've got to tear it all down and give it a rebuild. So we're very green at the moment. Okay, but I'm now about to sand it with some 500, and we'll be pulling some of this off. So yes. Worst case, I suppose, we paint it completely. So anyway, no, trust me. No, we'll see what happens now. I actually really enjoyed doing it way better than my other styles with the pressure packs, but I thought I'd try something different, and you don't learn new things unless you try them, do you? So anyway, I'll start sanding, and we'll see. Probably won't finish tonight, but we'll sand an area. Maybe we'll just concentrate here and maybe just here, so we can get a bit of a look. I've got to go for a drive to town, so do a quick sand and we'll see where we're at. Exactly. So I haven't done the roof section as yet, but I've basically sanded its first go over on this section. We may actually go a little bit more yet, bring a bit more of the red out, but it's not bad, I think. I don't think it looks fake. It's different to how I normally do it, as you can see. I wouldn't say it looks fake though. Would tell me what you guys think. I think I might take a bit more, and remembering we're going to clear coat this, so it will change when we clear coat it, but definitely different. I don't know if our green was, we've sort of got like a British racing green. It's probably an army green. It's close. It's different to the greens that were on it. It is close to one of them. And then one of the top ones I did was very similar to that green. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's getting there. I think we'll bring a bit more of the red out. I think we'll bring a bit more red, and it'd be good if we could get some dots, but we're not really getting the dots. So I've started using the orbital with a 400 from probably here over, and over here I just started like randomly sanding it, not sanding it, just randomly edging it, and then looking at trying to find what's underneath. So there's a bit of rust there. We'll hit that even harder, you know, and around it, doing stuff like that. I'll probably put a bit too much paint on in the end, I think, but like I've said, we will pull it all off. It won't matter, it just means more sanding, but I don't know, I think it's okay. Now, I don't know if you've seen the whole truck, but we haven't sanded on this at all. As you can see, it's very, very green. Like, even though when you get up close, it is very sparsely, it is very green compared to what it was. So, you know, it's getting there. I think when we sand it, and if you get up quite a lot, we have got spots and splatters and stuff in it. So I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I think we'll make it good. All right, that's as simple as that. We will make it good. All right, what we're going to do in here is, I said I'm going to make a plate up over for that glove box hole and put the stereo on. I may come up with a good idea today. Is I'll do the same on this one. We'll make a plate, and I was going to put a couple of gauges in there. And what we've come up with is, what if I was to put like a little digital display? It looks sort of like the same size as the stereo. I think you can get them. I'll have a look tonight. You can get them from China. You can get them from China. That's right. I'm pretty sure. And they're like a gauge display. And you know, so we'll have our screen on the passenger side. That's the stereo, and then we'll have like a similar size screen on the driver's side, which will be all our gauges. I reckon that could be pretty trick, hey? Looking? Might look, you know, something a bit fancy. Oakley dokley. So, after hours and hours and tripping over, hours and hours and hours of painting and sanding and stuffing about, this is where I've got it. Now, sort of first time standing back looking at it myself, and so far I was regretting doing it all. And then I've just been so confused of whether we should just be painting it or whether I'd like stuffed up, should have just left it, but where we've got it now, I'm kind of not minding it at this point. This is probably the terrible light side, but as you can see, we've taken a lot of it back off. Like, so we painted it quite heavy, and we've pulled heaps and heaps and heaps back off. And as you can see, like where we've got our rust piece here, you know, we've tried to have no green sort of touching it. We've tried to have undercoat coming off of it, and so doing stuff like that. So this has been sanded like spasmodically with some 400 grit on the orbital, and not just sanding it like this, like sanding it on edges and doing all weird wonderful things, and then coming in and looking at it and actually like slowly ripping a little bit out and so on and so forth. And then we've come around at the very end and hand sanded a few edges and stuff. So this is where we're at. So you can see there with our bit of rust, you know, I don't know. Like this, see this door's a bit browner, and you know, like here, I don't know. I'm sort of half okay with that at the moment, looking like that. So I'd like some opinions, because we've got a long ways to go on this, right? But so this morning and last night, and I was kind of upset with myself because I thought I'd stuffed it, and you know, we can always get out of it, like, but yeah, I wasn't actually happy, but I don't mind it at the moment. So we'll see. We'll keep looking at it while we're going. We do have other choices, like, but I've been trying to work out, I think I'm overthinking this build because it's going to be a daily driver. So it's going to get seen probably a bit more than the others. I don't know. I think I'm overthinking this build. Normally I'm pretty, as you'd know, I'm just into it, boom. And I normally don't add really anything. You know, like, oh, we did a weird clear coat thing on this, but all we did was do our joins, you know. On this one, we decided to paint and then sand back. Our Chevy, we did nothing to, other than we fake patinaed our bare metal. The red Bedford, we did nothing to at all. And this one, we were sort of looking at leaving as is. I was nearly like going, we've got too many patinas. Maybe I need to paint one, do something different. So, I don't know. That's where I was at the other day when I sort of thought I stuffed it. But looking at it how it is now, I don't mind it at the moment. I don't mind it. And then remembering, we will clear coat this. We're going to bury whatever we end up with. We are going to bury in clear, and heaps and heaps and heaps of clear. So it is like going to be glass. So I know a lot of people hate clear coated patinas, but that's what I want to do on this one. I want to bury this in clear. We've got oiled cars and so on. We've got ones with pearl in them, and this one I just want straight clear, probably like 10 coats, so that it's, and flat sanded, so it is just deep and like glass. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Drop your comments of what you guys think of it at the moment. If you think I should paint it a solid colour, say that. Should it be shiny? Should I bodywork the crap out of it, paint it shiny, like, you know, and even do some, you know, ghost flames on it, or, you know, what we can do here in the paint department. So give me some feedback of what you guys think. All right. Oakley dokley. So this is what we did. There's our dash panel, as per se, with our little pattern. So we'll rewind, yeah. So we did a cardboard template, yes. So they're the exact same, side to side. We then transferred that onto a piece of aluminium, and then I've got a ton of this left over from the race car bodies, yeah. There's like there's sheets everywhere, and then what we did is we grabbed the stereo and cut the center hole. We actually bent part of it and used that as the mount to mount the stereo. We actually had to do it twice because I didn't allow for the little what do you call it, the little surround part, so we actually recut it for the surround, as you can see there, the surround here. Now these are just temporary because it's got to come in and out a few times, yeah, because we're going to be welding and cutting and so forth. So this is just, you know, we've just made it. Now what I think we will probably do is we'll probably clear coat that later on, I'd say, because the dash is going to get clear coated. Now why did I do it this way? Well, we could have made it out of steel or out of the aluminium. I had some steel. We could have done a sign, was another option, was to actually use, like, cut it out of the sign and have the sign on there, or just use some metal and then patina it. But I wasn't going to be able to match that patina. I wasn't going to get the colour. Our colours aren't the same. It would have taken me ages to sit there and try to colour match it. And then at the end of the day, I colour match it. If I do get it right, then we've got to sand it all and get it all perfect. Like, I just didn't think I was quite going to pull it off. Now, I know we've got multiple different colours, but on the dash, I thought it sort of had to be nearly exact. So that's why I decided to go aluminium and do the pattern on there, which is done with that little, I don't know, the little air thing. Now over this side, we're going to put I don't know, I'm still deciding, but I'm thinking maybe a little, I've seen one today, I looked at one, and it was a little squarey type thing, and it had it was a 4-in-1, so I think it had oil pressure, water temp, volts, something else. What was the other one? Maybe a speedo? I don't know. Had something else. I don't know what the other one was now. But it was like a 4-in-1, a little screen, and it had 4 little gauges basically in it. So that was, I don't know, it was on dear. It was like, it was from China. So it was only like $30 or something stupid. So I don't know. We'll put something in there. And we've also, like, we'll probably put a little, we need to have a little digital, we're going to just get one of those little digital GPS speedos, I think. But we've got the proper speedo sitting there, so we just set our gauges in to see what that looks like. See, so we've got the proper speedo and we've got our set of gauges over there, but I think we'll probably run something here, a little, we'll see what they're like. I've just got one for the DeSoto. It's just a little screen with a digital speedo that runs off GPS, so we might have one of them in there. Or I was even thinking we could actually just put a screen in here, a GPS screen, and this would be the GPS even, you know, so the maps thing. So I don't know. We'll see, but we will put some sort of a screen in there. Now, what I'm alluding to as well is, because, so that dash doesn't stand out, it looks stupid, what we're going to do is, because as this is, you know, this is all going to be cleared, yeah? And then this panel that we make, we're going to wrap that in our interior fabrics. Okay, there'll be 2 or 3 different fabrics in here, I think, that will get put onto the door, that little door card, I suppose you could call it, same as the one over there. But like I said, we're going to make a panel here, down the bottom here. So what I think is we'll do is, that is obviously in there, so it can't be wrapped in the leather. So I think we'll do the same. We'll use a bit of aluminium and put the pattern on it for that. That's what I'm thinking. And we'll screw that into there. Same on the other side. And then we may do this one. I'm not sure. We may do a kick panel in the aluminium with the pattern as well. And then the 3 pieces will tie together. Yeah. And then, to be really tricky, this is our bonnet goes here. But I think I want to probably put a cover along there, or maybe even like this, but I'm thinking maybe across the whole thing. Whether that gets a piece, I don't know. But we're going to have our fuse box and stuff in here, so we sort of want it a bit out of the weather. So I'm thinking of putting like a bolt-on cover there. We could do that. out of the aluminium as well with the pattern. With all this is all black. Might look okay, I think. It might look alright, eh? So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. So what I reckon we'll do now is, I think we might have a crack at doing one of these. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna, we'll just see what we do. We'll get the shape with the cardboard template. I don't know if we'll put a, we'll come around the other side. I don't know if we'll put a little bead roll in. If we'll put a bead roll in at all or not. I don't know. I don't know how that will go with that little woofy bend. So, or whether maybe we just, I don't know. We'll see what I think. We may put a bead roll in it and do the pattern. I don't know how I do the pattern with that is all. Coming over the lips. So it'd have to be patterned just there to there and then there to there. So we'll look at that. It might look cool with the, it might actually look pretty cool with the bead roll. So if we form that, I don't know, someone can drop a comment quickly. If we form that little curvy that has to happen, the little, and then we put the bead roll in, will we lose that shape? Or if we put the bead roll in, can we even get that shape? Something to think about. We'll see if we can pull that off. Any rate, yeah, I think we might attempt to bead roll it. It is aluminium, so it should bead roll really, really easy. Anyway, enough talking. Let's make a cardboard template, CAD, and we'll go from there. Oakley dokley. Well, hopefully you've seen the stuff up. Well, kind of a stuff up. Now we actually, that was for that door, but we pushed our bead roll in the wrong way. And I don't think that would look any good pushed inwards. I think we want it pushed outwards, don't we? So, you can see what I'm saying. So this one will go onto this door. So, the only issue being is we did kind of have it bent for that, but as you can see, it pretty much straightened it up anyway. So what we'll do, hopefully we can get this to form now into that. How we do that, I don't know. I might actually just come along and start tacking it in, and I think later on we will, don't actually know how we'll bolt this in. We could potentially, when this panel is out, we could potentially maybe put our hand in and put the nuts on and have some nice little dome head Allen ones, or it could be pop riveted on, I suppose. It could be pop riveted on. Let me think. What would look good? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I think. I wonder if we should rivet it on. That might look nice. All right, so should I try to form it a bit first? What do you think? I'm talking out loud. Should we try to form it, or should we put a pattern in, or do we even want a pattern on it? I think we'll try to put, should we try to put a pattern on there? I think we'll try, let's try to do the pattern. Then I think we might rivet it on. No, let's just tack it on temporary and we'll rivet it on later. Or no, it won't matter, because we'll just clear that too, hey? When we come to clear it. Let's rivet it. Make your mind up. dokey. So, there we go. What do you reckon? I reckon that's pretty nice. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So it's pretty hard with the pattern, with it being small, we couldn't actually get a proper pattern. So I was doing little like half to quarter circles, and kind of, I think it's all right. And then what we did is we actually scotchied the bead roll, and I scotchied like a couple of mil onto the flat. So all of these have all had like a little sharp edge done on them, and I don't know, look at that, it looks pretty nice. So we drilled all the holes, drilled evenly spaced holes, so that can get riveted, or I think we'll rivet it. I reckon that will look trick. It'd be good if we could do some copper rivets or something. Would look trick. I don't know how we would do that. That would look pretty cool, wouldn't it? So I don't know. We'll just do some aluminium rivets, I think. I suppose another option would be, could paint the rivets. I suppose we could. We could paint them like that rose gold. We could paint them like the rose gold, like we did the Duracell battery cover. Paint all the rivets in that, pop them, and then just go touch it up. Well, that took me ages. That's why I don't normally do it so fancy, because I just like to get shit done. That took a few hours, I'd say. I don't know exactly, but it took me a while. Not that I didn't enjoy it, I didn't mind making that, but we've got to make another one now. I was planning on having them both done today, but we made that a bit more high end than I was anticipating, and I kind of like it. I think we might be setting a standard on this build, eh? We might actually be making this one a little bit... Should we show a bit more skill in this one and do this one a bit more high end? I think we might make the floor. That's actually pretty solid. We might make the floor out of this. I wanted to sound deaden it and everything. What do you think about this? I don't know, because I wanted it sound deadened. So, what do we... There's no point doing all this fancy stuff and then just sound deadening it. But what if we were to put in a floor... You following this? What if we put in a floor, just quick, just get it in, sheet it in, sound deaden it. I was going to put carpet, but what if we put sound deadener on and then made panels like this, all for the floor, and had them all riveted in? And no carpet, and had a metal piece floor, all like shiny and stuff. Well, I'm going to have to think about that. That may look pretty trick, eh? Okay, that's something to think about. Anyway, I think that might do me today. Oakley dokley. So, we made that panel and bead rolled it, yes, and then we put the pattern on, and if we have a look, there it is down there, and we actually used the rivets. We just got some rose gold type paint, and we just painted all the rivets. I think I don't know if I mind that. So, as you can see now, this one's been taken off. So we're going to redo that one as well, because the other side was missing, remember? What it's done is, it's got the juices flowing, and the build's changing. Okay, now, remembering I said, just a metal floor with sound deadener and then carpet was my plan, yes? Well, we've changed. We're doing something different. We're going to do something different this time. Now, I'm not a sheetie. Remembering this, I'm not a sheet metal worker. I was a pipe welder, okay? Boilermaker, pipe welder. So this is not my forte, is sheet metal work. We know the principle of how stuff works, okay? And we've got a pretty dodgy little bead roller over there too. So anyway, we are replicating this square panel because we had to make the other side. So we've decided to do both of them the same out of aluminium. So I've got my two pieces here cut out, and what we've just done is we've just traced the bead rolling of the original for our template. So we'll actually cut through the center of those two lines, and we'll use that as our template to trace onto there. So we'll make sure we get one for each side. And we've done our other piece there for the other one. So they've just been, we just cut them with the grinder. We're just using aluminium sheet. I think it's about a 2 mil, 1.9 I think it is, or 2 mil. So it's good enough. So we just cut it with the grinder, took the burr off, and then we actually used, we've got a little file here somewhere, this little file. It's quite a nice one to just get it nice, really nice, the edges. Like the flat disc is a bit aggressive. It's good to take the major burr off, but to get it really nice, so there's going to be no cutting of the fingers. So what we're going to do is, those two panels, Now I'm even alluding to maybe we will take that panel off in there as well, and we will do both sides as well out of the aluminium sheeting, huh? Yeah, so we're going to start getting some serious aluminium sheets through. Now, what I've decided to do is we're going to do our floor, all right? Our framework. We're going to go take some measurements. I don't know whether we'll do this episode or not, but we're going to go take measurements of our chassis, and we should be able to pretty much work out if we have to encroach into here anywhere. I don't reckon we're going to, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put some framework in for our floor. We're actually going to sheet our floor in mild steel, okay? Follow on. So we'll get some mild steel sheet, probably some 2mm or 3mm is probably too thick, so probably some 2mm. We could even use some signage or whatever. We'll use whatever, okay, we have. We might have to go buy half a sheet or something. So we'll sheet it in, weld it all in, like we'll probably just drill some holes in it and plug weld it, all right? Floor's done, yeah? All just done, like just get it in, boom. We may have a couple of little bead rolls for some strength. That's about it. I don't even reckon we're going to need them because we'll have the framework there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to then sound deaden all the floor. And we're going to sound deaden all of the back. All of this will all get sound deadened, yeah? But we'll just talk about the floor now. We're going to sound deaden all the floor. Then what we're going to do is we're going to make all panels out of aluminium. And we're going to bead roll them all fancy bead rollings. We're going to do patterns with that. We're going to do maybe some fish scale patterns in a couple. We'll just do some different ones. Like we'll get the knife blade. We might do a couple of fish scale ones. We might do a diamond one or something. Okay, we'll have some random different ones in the floor. Some will just be standard bead rolled like those. But in some of the spots that are going to be visible, even on, you know, we may do some fancier ones to break it up. And my plan is to put them all over the top and then rivet them into the base floor. So I'll explain some more in a minute. But then what we're going to do is, we're not going to do them just square. We're going to have them all have rounded corners like this. Okay? So imagine we got 4 of these, okay? For argument's sake. We've got 4 panels. And in here, I'm going to get some brass sheet. It's really, really expensive, but I'm going to go get some brass sheet. And we're going to have little brass pieces. Hey, I reckon that will look psycho between all the sheet joins. So we'll do, I think I'll have it out of multiple pieces. Okay, all riveted down. We'll probably just paint all the rivets like we did. Then we'll have all these little brass pieces everywhere. I reckon that will look insane. And we may actually do like a couple of fancy brass patterned inserts in a couple of spots. Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And we'll have this thing. And then probably in here where our feet go, we may have one panel or something that we get a little tiny carpet square or something, and we try to do like a little carpet square inlay into one somehow. I quite know how we'll do that, but maybe we'll do one, for argument's sake, a panel that has a hole in it. Yeah, and we could do put a bead roll edge on it and have it all fancy, and then have a piece of carpet that goes in that, inserted in there. Maybe, I reckon that'll look trick. So our little feet, we could have our little bare feet if we wanted, on some nice carpet that won't burn us. So we have all the floor all done trick in metal, I reckon. And then we'll do the same here. So this will all get sound deadened. And then, of course, we can't pop rivet onto here. So we have 2 choices. Is we either put in a little structure or something that we can screw to, pop rivet to, or we just have fake pop rivets into the actual sheet, just into the sheet, boom, 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 and we like just sort of glue them all on. So we'll think about that as we get to it. We're a little bit away from that first, but we can concentrate on this floor, and I think it will look sweet. Hey, so the reason we're going to do it this way in the floor is, instead of just putting our framework in and then making this nice floor out of the aluminium, all right, it's got nothing to do with the strength of it or any of that. What it's to do with is then we can't sound deaden it or heat proof it, okay? So what I'm going to do is just put a standard floor in, and then we'll put like a dress floor over the top so that we can have it soundproofed and heat proofed, okay? Because I think the more soundproofing and heat proofing we put in this is going to be the better. There's a fair chance what we'll also do is we'll get inside these doors later. We might even put some pieces of the soundproofing in the doors in here. as well, some bits in there, which one will take any of this tinniness out of it. It makes them look solid, and I reckon the more we do, the better, eh? It will just be so cool. So, drop your comments if you reckon this is a good idea, bad idea, or indifferent. Oakley. So, we just made the 4 panels. Now these two still need all the pattern put on them, to be drilled and all that good stuff. So what we've done over here is I did a different pattern. So as you can see on the one down the bottom, we sort of did, well, that's not even the proper fish scales because I couldn't get it in there. So it ended up nearly looking a bit like a chain link in certain spots, but it's kind of the fish scale pattern. Now up here we started doing that, but my bit was no good. My little sanding bit wore out and the fresh one was too aggressive. So we did this different texture. We're just going like crisscrossing, and then in the center I did a different one again, like a bit of a messier one. Just a different pattern. I don't know. I think maybe that's what we might do. So we might do the bottom one over the other side like this, and then we'll do the top one with a different pattern. I don't know. It's not locked in. It's only got 2 rivets in it because we've got to get in here to mess with this door handle as it's not working properly. So we've just put 2 rivets in there for now. Drop your comments on me doing that, doing different patterns on some of the pieces, and remembering that we're going to have some different bead rolling patterns happening too. So some might not get anything, like, you know, we could perhaps even just do one sanded. There's also what you can do is we could just mask up some lines, or mask up like a checkerboard pattern, and you can sand each square one way and then sand all the other squares the other way. So that's another option as well. Like, we can do some tricky things, with this stuff, with metal and getting different textures. So drop your thoughts on me doing different textures on different panels, or whether you think I should just have them all the same. Now, I'm thinking that bottom one in there, I think we may just sand that one up and put the bead roll in. And so what is that? Well, they've just got a single circle, it looks like, all the way around. Yeah, we could we'll put an inner in as well. We'll put an inner line in to match, I think. And I don't know if you see what I did, but we taped up this one and just scotched, and you just leave a little lip. And up here I just did it freehand, but if you can see up nice and close there's just a little 2-3 mil edge that we've sanded off there. So it's done that with a Scotch-Brite. And so there you go. There's our different patterns. This one down the bottom looks a lot shinier. I had my little trailer here and I was inoxing the tarp. I sold it, and I wiped all the excess inox off, and it was all on my rag. Okay, it was very wet, so I came over here and just wiped inox on this. Didn't spray it at all, just wiped the rag over it. And have a look at it. So this is basically what it will look with gloss, but imagine it with 10 coats of this, 10 coats of gloss on, how deep and stuff it looks. I think I'm really happy with our patina. Now, I don't know, it looks legit, man. I think that doesn't look fake at all. And see, now we've used proper paint. It's not wiping off, see? So I'm actually, I think I like it. Here's the side. See this side, it's got the rusty deep, and then the undercoat, the lighter brown, and then there's the blacky greys we put in, some rust, and then we got our original greens and some of our fake ones, and that's a bit of our wipey one there. I'm liking it. I really am liking it. I think it looks real. I don't think it looks fake and gloss. Oh, don't do that. We got a piece of wood stuck in here. Keep this door open. I'm actually really liking it, guys, which is good, because a couple of days ago I was in a bit of disarray, but I think this is gonna look absolutely gorgeous. Oh, we've gone again. I think we'll logo it too. We may do it different than normal, but as you can see our sign down there, like it's there, but not real good. But I think we'll do our logo in this sort of section, and we hit a bit of that, we hit a bit of that. Drop your comments on me patina, guys. I don't think it looks fake at all, because it's half, you know that, and I think we've nailed it. I'm actually happy with the colour, everything. So here's the hard part. Now we've got to replicate that on our guards, bonnet and rear guards. Like, I know we're doing it a bit ass about face, yeah, but I just want to see what it looks like to give me some not motivation, but also to give me a direction of how I wanted it, because I got a bit confused there. So Oakley Oakley. So we've got all our panels done. So there's our weird textured one, and here's our new weird textured one. So that was the one that was on the car. This is the one we just did today. Plenty good. It's sort of like a bit of a camo print, isn't it? Yeah. Here's the other one. So I went in and actually bought some more of these. These we bought fine ones, $40. Check that out. Freaking rip off. Anyway, so this did this pattern. It's probably slightly different to the other side because it actually worked pretty nicely, but pretty good. Now we went looking for some stuff while I was out. So I tried to get some brass screws, but maybe if I get some dome-headed, fat dome-headed brass screws, that could look nice. Instead of having the rivets, we could actually have all these little brass screws around there, but they didn't have any, but they're going to see if they can get any. And I even looked at like that yellowy zinc. They had nothing decent in that. What I was thinking of is if we were to get a small headed but fat shank, but small head, and then we had copper washers. So back in the day we used to have 1 and 2 cent pieces that were made out of copper, but we don't have them anymore. They got rid of them, so we could have drilled holes in all of them. But yeah, if I can get some copper washers that are like this, you know, or even yeah, probably that diameter, we'd have a copper circle with then another little aluminium circle, like with the rivet. You know, that might look a bit trick as well. So that's something. So we'll see. Worst case, If we can't get anything good, if none of our options are working, we can't get the brass screws. And see, so now if before anyone says anything, oh, use copper or use brass rivets, well, the issue being is some of these spots where we want to use them, I can't get in behind, and you generally have to have a dolly or something behind them, and then you clout it with a hammer, yeah? And I've got nothing, I can't get into that door, you know, to do it. So we could do one panel with it, but then one without, and then that would look like rubbish. So we've got this off. This is the bottom kick panel down on the step. It's a bit of a bear, all the bolts are just rusted and seized up and snapped. So anyway, we've got it off. So we've got to make a new set of these for each side, and we'll probably change the position of that bead roll, and we'll, like I said, we'll do an inner one as well. Whether we keep it like that or whether we, you know, go like that or something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean by that, don't you? So instead of doing it like that, maybe we did it like that. Something to think about, yeah. And so we've got to make two of them. Now over here, what we have done is we have been messing around with this door. Now we don't have the outside door handle, but we got the inside door handle working, and we got this window working up and down nicely. That was all seized up, so we've got that working. Now we don't know what's going to happen with this. Something's wrong here. Like, I had a rod in there and it still wasn't operating the door, so I don't know. So we're missing something internally there. And then we've looked, so we've come and brought that front end over, and this is actually the front end from this car. Yes, it is. So when we bought it originally off old mate, we bought this cab, and then we bought this front end here, this rusty front end. Obviously he kept the other one because it was better. He was going to keep it for some reason, whatever. So we bought this rusty one. It's too far gone for us to use. And then recently we bought this front end off of him. Obviously he had a gutful of it. I think he's had a lot of it in storage, but this is actually the front end from here. And how do I know? Well, look, that there was welded on, and that, all of that fits to all of that perfectly. So, and there's a weld there. So this was welded onto here. So whether we do the same and actually weld the front on. So we've got a little bit of a dolly there, because I'm looking for the bolts and how to bolt up, and I'm having a few issues where I want to work it out. So yeah, we can weld that up, fix this here, and it looks like we've got a weld there. So there's a bit of a split here. So we might actually put, maybe we'll put a, I don't know, we'll think about it. We might put a plate underneath or something, even weld a plate on, weld this up, and maybe even put two bolts in as well. We need to dolly that down, maybe try to fill that a little bit for our light. I thought there was a bit of rust somewhere, but maybe there's not. Bit of dolly work in the corner, and a bit of dolly work down in there. We've got a little bit of dolly work just there. We've got a whoopsie, and coming across the front, we're all pretty good. That there needs to be bent down, and around this side we've got something similar on this edge. So, and that's about it. We're pretty good otherwise. And then we brought the bonnet over. Now the bonnet's good. It's got a couple of little dings and dents. Like, we don't really care too much about dings and dents. See the little bonnet? How cool are they? They're pretty cool, hey? We've got the badge. We've got a spare one of them too. We've got a spare one of these. So we've got a little tiny split here that we're going to have to weld, whether we patch or whether we just try to fill it. Other than that, and we've got more hinges, because this one here's got a crack, so we've got more hinges. And we've got all that. We've got more chrome bars as well. And I think he's found me the headlight rings, so he'll be watching. So thank you for that. We need a door handle, old mate. And we need to work something out. I need to know how these work. What we are looking at is we're going to have to scotchy this up now, I think, and we'll probably put some patina, some paint on this, so it looks like that. That's what we want to do, but I just wanted to come and have a look at it. Now, we've got the seals on the ground there. We're going to have to be at a minimum of 100 mil. So we'll probably set it up at 5 inches, 125 mil. And because for some reason, whenever I do that, I always lose an inch somehow. So that's going to put our front there quite high. So with our bumper, I've got our bumper there. That's why the bumper's sitting on the ground. Basically, there's an inch or two there. Like it's going to probably sit maybe just on top of that or level with that little lip is what I'm thinking. That will be like an inch or two off the ground. So basically, like the height of the bumper will work. You know, it might be an inch higher. Like what I'm thinking though is that corner just there, that's going to then be sitting up like there. and I think that might look too high. So what I am thinking of doing is putting a piece on that corner of basically 4 or 5 inches, basically nearly get that down to the ground so it's level with that is sort of what I'm thinking. But anyway, there's the look of what we are building. So drop your comments of that, what you think. Oakley. So as you just seen, we've brought the front end over and we brushed on some red primer in some random spots, just roughly, as you can even see the brush marks just through there. Then we've grabbed 2 different greens and misted some green over, so that all needs to be sanded back now. Of it is really eating the inox, so I just put some inox on a rag and wiped it over. But yeah, we've got a couple of greens on there, some undercoats, some blacks, blacky weird colours. We've got a piece of rust here that developed, just do a patch there. It might actually be a nice place to put some sort of a badge there, I reckon. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Probably come around this side to get better light for you. So there's our original fake. Here's our next section. It's not bad. You can see because of the undercoat was one with a brush, you get these weird lines happening in it. So yeah, we've sort of, you know, burnt into some of this, and we've got some blacky stuff happening. So overall, I think it's not too bad. I think it's not too bad. I don't think that looks fake. Tell me what you reckon. I think we're looking pretty cool. See, it's like, it's a bit everywhere. You know, on here we've probably got quite a bit across there, and we're probably a bit less on the bonnet, but you know, we haven't got much on the roof, but we do have some. The roof's all dirty, but as you can see, it's really hard to tell with the light, but there is remnants of bits up there. So all in all, I think we're okay. And across the front, you know, we've had some original, we had a fair bit of original bits here and there, and we just added some of this darker into it. Like I said, I've got more chrome trims, and I don't know if you've seen these bonnet latches, but how cool. That's just right. Bonnet latches are wicked. This is not bolted, it's just sitting there. I've got different hinges to put on, and we've got other badges in chrome, so we'll pick all our best that we've got. So I think patina wise, we're pretty happy. Like paint style of the cab, I think we're happy. I think that looks pretty cool. So we're not ready to lock it down yet, of course. We've still got our repairs and some dolly work, so there'll be some little touch-ups in the patina happening, and we'll be looking at it over the next few weeks to see if we see any other bits that either need a bit more green or need a bit more sanded off, because that's the thing with it is, at this point, if we see bits we don't like, we can just adjust it. That's why I'm sort of doing it a bit early, so we can adjust it all, sit here and look at it for quite a few weeks before we pull the trigger and clear coat it, because once we clear coat it, it's locked in. So feeling a bit ordinary today, to tell you the truth. There's all this freaking smoke. I don't know if you can see the joint out here. That's not clouds. Oh, there's a little bit of cloud, but look at it. It's all smoke. It's like been really bad the last few days. But it's been like it for about a month or 6 weeks. There's fires and back burning and stuff. It's just ridiculous. Can't breathe. So, but you can see through there. Probably can't. See where that there? That's just all smoke. Like you can hardly even see the mountain back there. And I don't know if it's that making me a bit off, but feeling a bit off. Anyway, drop some comments. I need some feedback on the bumper. Leave it like that, or paint it black, or black patina it. So I want some feedback on the bumper. I've got no idea what we're doing for a rear bumper yet. We might make something sort of similar. Oakley dokley, this is what we've come up with. So these are our little, what we're going to do. So that's a aluminium pop rivet, and that's a 1 cent piece, copper 1 cent piece. So what we've done is on these ones, they were just drilled a hole and polished, and then the rivet put in, and then I actually just used that same paint we used here, which is like nearly a perfect colour match, to just paint the centre, because I think it looked a bit better. Now on this one here, I don't know if you can tell that one, see it's curvied compared to the flat. How much nicer does that look? That looks really, really cool, I reckon. So what I did there is pretty simple, though. Just come over here. I found this old bracket with a hole in it, and we sat our. I did it without the hole. Did one without the hole in it, but I don't know if it will work with the hole or not. And then we got this old ball hammer. Sat that in there. Boom. Gave it a hit with our other hammer, and bang, it was all curvy, looking cool. So I actually did it with just a standard 1 cent piece before it was drilled, and then I drilled it. Yeah, and I think that little curvy ones, I think that looks really cool. The curvy one. These ones look okay, but the curvy one looks really good. So that's what we're going to do with them, and we'll do all of these pieces. We'll all get this mount. Yeah, I reckon that will look this interior is gonna look mental. All right, and now I'm loving the patina now. I'm loving the look of our patina. I reckon it looks heaps good. As you can see, this one's sucking in the inox, but that's good because we just wanted to see what it looked like, okay? But I'm loving the look of this. If we come in here and look out, when it still doesn't show it real good on the camera, but very good. Very, very, very good. You won't really see it until we get it out, cleared, and out in the decent lighting. How cool it's looking. Loving it. Thank you, because I was so stressed earlier. Oakley dokley. Well, we achieved an absolute ton in this episode, I think. We've got our patina, saved it. We've got it looking beautiful. A completely different style than what I've ever done. But it has turned out, I believe, looking really, really good. And I am so happy with it. Drop your comments of your opinion of the patina. But it looks, to me, it looks legit. And it looks different. So we also then came in and made our dash panel, mounted our stereo, and our one over there that will get gauges put in that will look very similar with a square screen. Coming to the doors, we changed direction from after we did that, we thought we'd do this on the door cards, where these were going to be leather and patinaed. We've turned them into these cool looking aluminium panels, bead rod panels, and look at that. Oh yeah, that's all I'm showing you is that one. We got about 5,000 to make, but that should be fun and look cool. We've made our other doors panels as well. We've still got a million more panels to make. As you know, I changed direction, and we're going to do the whole interior out of those aluminium panels instead of carpeting it, and I think the end result will look magnificent. Now, I haven't told you my whole plan of what I'm doing in there. You've just got a section of it, and you're gonna have to want to come back and see what I end up doing, because you wouldn't have seen it done before, one, and two, I think it will look insane. We then come over and brought our front end over, sat it on, it's just sitting there, and then turned this rusty old relic, which was just basically all rust, had hardly any paint left, and we have put our patina and undercoat on that to make it blend in with what we've done on the cab. And I think you would agree that it basically looks identical, and it looks pretty good. So we actually achieved a real lot in this episode, and I have a full direction and of where I'm heading. I'm happy with my progress and where I'm heading with it. I know where I'm heading with it. I'm happy with where I'm heading with it, and I have it's all going in here. It's all, you don't want to go inside there. You'd all freak out with what goes on inside this thing. But anyway, so I think next episode we do on this, which probably won't be next week, be the week after, I think we'll look at getting all the roof fixed, dollied, rust repairs done, and going through the cab and getting it all, the dents dollied and all the rust repaired, and then repatinaing those areas. We'll see how we go, if we get the front end done or not, and I would like to get the chassis probably up and let's get a start on the chassis. But the main focus in next week will be to get all of this cab de-rusted, de-dented to where it is basically finished product, other than adding clear coat. So that's our main focus, and whatever else we achieve. So with all of that said, I hope you're enjoying our build and the direction I'm heading with it, and keep watching, because this one I reckon is gonna be wicked. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.